Hey Zomboid players, Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Project Zomboid Build 42. Episode 7, State of the Game. So before I start, I just wanted to cover that I updated my PC tracker a little bit. I got rid of all the rare VHS tapes. The tape meta is a bit different now than it was pre-42. In that, like, you can't exceed 3 levels from tapes, so collecting videotapes is a lot less useful. I would also say that book meta is even stronger now as a result, because you can't break things down for, like, experience and stuff the way you used to. I have a lot of misgivings about Beta 42's crafting, honestly. I mean, I guess before I start, I'm going to share my opinion. And this opinion is about unmodified difficulties of Project Zomboid for 42, not, of course, modified. And it's that before Build 42, you could fight an endless horde of zombies, more or less. Now, because of the fatigue system and moodlets and everything, you really can't. You can only fight a few at a time. Getting rid of corpses is a labor-intensive process. It takes a while. My larger point is, it's a lot harder to kill a lot of zombies effectively. Now, of course, there is guns and new gun mechanics, but if you aren't comfortable using guns, or you don't have access to guns or a lot of ammo or something like that, killing a lot of zombies is very nearly impossible unless you're ready to wreck a lot of vehicles. And the problem with that is leveling up in the new experience system takes an incredible amount of time and energy and resources, and those resources are guarded by a ridiculous amount of zombies. So what I mean by that is, like, I did some play testing before this stream because of the, I had time to prepare for this one. Going to like a random warehouse or a random house in the middle of nowhere, you're going to get like 20, 30, 50, 200 zombies like piled into like a farmhouse in the middle of nowhere. Like, it doesn't make sense. And I have default spawn populations that are urban focused. So what I mean by that is the amount of resources that you gain from scavenging does not in any way offset the effort it takes to do the scavenging given the amount of zombies you have to kill. And because stealth is not that effective in Zomboid, you can try to throw them off with like alarm clocks and car alarms and things like that. But basically, getting anything done now is so time intensive that I would say the ideal playing experience, unless you just want to fight for months on end for like the scraps that you need to craft, is to turn population down to like 10% or 20%. So I do hope that when 42 fully releases, they address this, because I don't feel like it's balanced. I feel like the effort versus reward balance of Zomboid is way thrown off due to fatigue and new combat mechanics. That's just my opinion. And I wanted to share that prior. And the reason I want to share that is I'm not going to be able to get a lot done on this character. It's going to take an incredible amount of effort to even get paltry amount of base building and things like that done because of the effort involved. So above my head, you can see that I've updated the skill books. There are new skill books. This was slapped together like last minute. That's why it looks like garbage. But you've got new skill books for aiming, husbandry, butchery, carving, glass making, knapping, long blade masonry, blacksmith, reload, pottery, and welding. I believe that is the full list of books. So, for instance, there is not aiming books. There is not long blunt books or axe books. It's just long blade and aiming and reloading, rather. All right. The first thing I want to do on stream is to start farming. One of the other changes that they made is the calorie requirements for your character now is like bonkers insane. I feel like the amount of calories, my best guess is that they just need to like add 50% calories to everything that you can eat. Because like your character can eat an entire ham every day and wash it down with like I don't know, 5 sodas and still lose weight. So, I mean, yeah, that's why start farming is my current priority, just to offset the fact that losing weight is really easy to do now. I mean, you all know my playstyle and how I absolutely gorge on everything and end up like 100 kilograms. It's not so easy to do now. Also, yo, I just told you to eat half of that. Where'd the other half go, piglet? Alright, well, Tracy is just forking food into her face. I mean, I'm kind of proud of her. But yeah, I don't know if you're, if you guys, those that have cut their teeth on Unstable 42, if you agree or disagree with my assessment that the effort of killing a lot of zombies versus the reward of clearing those zombies out of certain buildings or whatever is way thrown off. But at least that's my opinion. And it's my opinion backed up by a somewhat limited amount of experience, but experience nonetheless. As I did a lot of play testing prior to this. So I am very tired, which is why I didn't want to like go out and do stuff. I think everything that I need for farming is actually in the trunk of my truck. Yes. All right. So I'm going to grab the trowel. I am deciding not to use the fertilizer until I level up a little bit more in agriculture. The reason is when you're really low level in farming, you can't protect your crops from diseases as effectively. So fertilizing crops that I can't necessarily protect doesn't seem reasonable to me. Plus, it's going to be really easy for me to scavenge for food early on, whereas later on that won't be the case. So I'm deciding to save my to save my fertilizer for when I need it. Oh, and I just realized I failed to mark down that I have Masonry 1 book. Did I miss any books? Masonry 1, Ag 2, 3, and 4. Actually, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 for Ag. Mostly because I went to that farming supply store. Carpentry 3. I'm just updating my PZ tracker. I overlooked these that I hadn't considered. Foraging 4. And I just put foraging 1 on myself to read. As foraging is a very strong skill now because of what you can make for foraging. So last stream, at the end of last stream, I was like trying to find tools, and I think I'm just going to change the priority to more or less make the tools that I am able to make instead. So I think the skill books list is now properly updated. All right. Then in terms of the crops, I want crops that are, let's do potatoes, cucumber, bell peppers. I should also grab that watering can. And then I think I have some seeds upstairs. Nabla and Cruzio, thank you for the resub. And cheers, by the way. So, I would say, in terms of, like, play speed, everything is going to take you a lot longer to do in the current update. So if you want to do anything, the amount of effort it takes to clear out, like, a large building for its loot is going to take you multiple days, whereas previously it would take you multiple hours. That's pretty much what I mean by, like, the effort versus reward changes. I'd also say that, like, it's cool that they introduced all of these new mechanics, but in a way, without empowering tooltips, telling us what things are and what they do. I feel like it's just, the learning curve to Zomboid was already steep, and I feel like it only got steeper with the latest update, which is going to be rough for anyone trying to learn the ropes for this game. The only way I see this as like a real boon is on multiplayer servers. It might make sense for communities of survivors to specialize in specific professions because of the complexity. That would be my assessment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Yeah, it's entering Dwarf Fortress levels of just figure it out. Yeah, that's kind of... I mean, it's not a complaint. It's like, I like complex games, but I feel it's not the complexity that I'm necessarily complaining about. It's the time versus effort. Everybody knows when games get a little bit too grindy, they are off-putting, because it's like I don't have time to invest. You know, like if you were just a casual player of this, it's like, oh, okay, so I want to make myself a forge. It's like, well, all right, that's like 50 in-game hours worth of effort. I mean, I'm exaggerating here, but you understand. You like this hat? It's a nice hat. And then the other issue is that some crafting requirements are very specific, and if you don't have the perfectly right tool, it kind of sucks. So what I mean by that is, like, if you want to make leather, you need a fleshing tool. You can't apparently scrape fur with a knife or an axe. It has to be a fleshing tool. Why? Because it has to be a like, you know, I don't... Yeah, so there's other balancing issues as well. Where it's like, alright, you want to make leather, you gotta tan it. What do you have to tan it with? An animal brain. It's like, can't I tan it with, like, tree bark? Nope, it has to be an animal brain. So there's a lot of, like, pretty severe... There's a lot of tools that you need to collect. They're very specialized. Sometimes they're hard to find, and there aren't allowed alternatives. And that's another part of this version of Zomboid that, like, I'm less thrilled about, because then it just means you're spending even more time in the, alright, let's go collect tools in random garages meta. Which it was already bad enough with the sledgehammer, but now it might be 15 different specialized tools that you have to go find and mark down. And, you know, it just becomes pretty cumbersome. Yeah, it's extremely rigid. Exactly. Alright, I am gonna get some shut-eye, and then I'll continue farming in the morning. Now, the other issue that I'm gonna have, and this is a funny one, is the water. Unless I haven't been able to... Why could I dig a furrow here? What is with this context menu? The water that is in animal troughs, like, the volume that can be stored in animal troughs is an incredible amount of water, but apparently it's not water that you can transfer to a player's anything, which I find extremely weird. It's like, just let me dip my water jug into a trough so that I can boil it or whatever. But the game doesn't allow for that. It's like, why not? Come on, man. Why not? Water is water. Use animal troughs as their rain collectors would have been great, but, like, it's just not allowed for some reason. I don't know why. So the issue that I'm going to run here is I can start a farm, but, like, watering it is going to be rather difficult. So I'm kind of hoping that it just, like, rains on me. In fact, maybe what I'll do is I'll have everything set up and ready for an animal farm, or a farming, and then only really kick it off once it starts raining. So I'm going to put my gardening trowel and my seed packets away in the garage here and pick up a new goal. But I dug the, oh, apparently I haven't read the seed packet for wheat. One thing I don't understand is, alright, so reading it teaches you the growing season for wheat. But what is the growing season for wheat? I've read it, but I don't know. Maybe you guys know where that information is, but I haven't actually found that information. So I know that crops have growing seasons, but, like, the game won't tell me. You read the packet, and it doesn't actually impart any additional knowledge, which, to my mind, is super confusing. I know. Sounds like a long list of generic complaints. Maybe it is, but I wish these... I wish I could be further enlightened. So, I think I'm going to have you guys decide between two different goals. What to do next. Collect chickens or make primitive tools. So making primitive tools, I would try to make like an axe so that I could start cutting down trees that are around me. I'll give you 2.5 minutes to vote on that. All the while, I gotta cook some fries and tato tots. And let's also eat the ice cream. So my weight is right now dropping, and I'm eating an entire, maybe quart of ice cream. My weight is still dropping. Bear in mind that an entire quart of ice cream is like easily your daily caloric needs for even the most active people slaying zombies. Wait, I swear I put these tots in there. Apparently the game said no. So for growing season, character info, discovered recipes, media, agriculture. Oh, there we are. Swell. Thank you. So maybe I should reassess what I'm growing, although everything I'm looking at right now, except for cauliflower, is allowed for July. But once I get farming, I can take a look at that again and make sure that everything is being grown in the right season. That information should definitely be on, like, the packet. You shouldn't have to dig for that. So, I'm glad that you pointed out where it was, but I'm sure there is ample amounts of people that are like, where the hell is this? Alright, I think it looks to me like Team Primitive Tools has won. So, make primitive tools. That was really obvious. How could I not find it? Alright, so what I want to make here is, if we go into Mason survival, where's the axe? Maintenance. I want a tree branch, a sharp flint flake, a rag. That makes an axe, and an axe is going to allow me to cut down some of the trees around here, which is, you know, handy. So I have a bunch of rags already. That was easy. Rags are plentiful. Now let's go ahead and... Oh, you know, if I am foraging for stuff... Well, I haven't read the foraging book, but foraging is one of those skills that you level up, like, super fast anyway. So maybe I don't need the book. We'll see. Actually, honestly, I feel like I should read the book. Just for the big boost. So we're going to have a nice leisurely day. I'll sit outside. And I'll blow through Feast in the Forest. Oh. Well. Guess it's an inside kind of day. The helicopter was like, ah, you're outside? Bite me. Well, thanks, helicopter. So I've been trying to figure out what the emergency channel's been. And apparently I don't need it. I mean, I've lost water. I am going to lose power at some point, and I don't have the generator magazine. You could also level up electrical to 3 to be able to hook up generators. So that is a nice change that they made with this current version. But grinding to 3 is pretty difficult, so I think it's still probably more reasonable to find the magazine. Wait, the helicopter's bad? Yes, the helicopter's bad. It doesn't help you. It just hovers over your head, making a hell of a lot of noise, drawing zombies that are around you to you. If you're in a high population area, it will be very deadly if you don't evade and go inside. It's a real problem. Alright, well, I've had all of the foraging red. I'm losing daylight, so I'm going to have some weather and darkness negative effects. But, wow, 111. That is a lot. Let's close some of this. So we are in an urban area. Let's hop the fence, and we'll be in a forest. I'm mostly looking for stones, but I'm not going to have a focus. Whatever's out here, I'm fine with. I might need to pick this, search a baking tray. That's interesting. Also, I swore that tree wobbled at me, but apparently it didn't. Maybe a baking tray's out there because they were using it for target practice, like plinking at it with a rifle or something. All right, I'm gonna have to pick up this primitive tools thing tomorrow because I am out of daylight. As you can see, my search radius is getting worse and worse and worse. So instead, let's read more electrical. Grinding through these skill books. Alright, it's just past midnight. Seems a good time to turn in. And then we'll look for rocks and twigs. And flax, dogbane. You know, I would need hemp and flax to be able to make ropes. Ropes is something that you need like an immense amount of when you want to start building low-level carpentry. You like the hat? Thank you. By my pretty floral bonnet, I will end you. Or something like that. Can I hotwire? No. Oh, it's raining. Okay. Let's plant. Actually, I'm going to plant, crop, and then make primitive tools. Of course, rain makes foraging a little bit harder. So, growing seasons. Let's decide whether or not the ones that I have picked out are decent. I'm going to pause the game so I don't lose access to this water. So I have bell peppers, which is Beth month June, poor month July. Okay, that's fine. We have got broccoli. which best month is July, but it's okay in June. That's fine. Cucumber. June is fine. Onion might be, well, let's see. I don't want to make any assumptions. Yeah, onion is not good, so I'll leave that behind. We need a replacement crop for the onion. I kind of figured. Same with potatoes. Sorry, potatoes. I mean, they probably survive, but we'll plant stuff that's ideal. Strawberry, no. What about wheat? Wheat, probably not either. Winter wheat. Yeah, best month, October. Okay, so we have 3 of the 7 that we want to plant. I'll get these in the ground and then try to find decent alternative crops. Really what it is I want stuff that I can eat. I don't really care about, like, herbs at the moment. So, bell pepper. So maybe we'll end up putting, you know, potatoes in anyway. The tooltip showed the season as well. It does. Interestingly, it seems like different information. Planting season April, May, June. Cucumber seeds. Planting season April, May. Game! What rule set are you... It's an unstable. I don't need to be unstable about it. I'm planting these anyway. I don't know which information is true. My discovered recipes or the seeds themselves, but something's lying to me. Something is lying to me, and I don't know which it is. Oh, my brain. My brain. You think the text got cut off? Maybe? I don't know. Whatever it is bad UI. Alright, we will look at the other seeds. What do I got? Carrots. Carrots, where are you? June is fine. So we'll plant carrots. What about kale? God, there's so many. Kale, June is fine. We'll plant kale. Turnips. Turnips probably late in the season. Oh no, June's fine. All right, turnips it is. And then we just need one more. Pumpkin. When do we plant pumpkin? June. All right, we got our 4 new crops here. Yeah, the planting season is truncated. It has like a comma, and then it just disappears. So you do have to open up this discovered recipes and media. So there's no shortcut for this, I guess. Maybe, you know, they'll change it for the better. Because yeah, it's my head's in the way, but you can see like some of the months are included there, but not all the months. So it's just doing this weird. Some of them are truncated, some of them have carriage returns, something like that. Whatever. As long as we can eat it. Yeah, here. So like these aren't truncated. If the game's like carrots, yeah, whenever you want. Potatoes, only in the spring. I'm in deep pain because of bending over. Man, this is taking so many deep shots at my soul. Game, you're gonna make me cry. Alright, well, the farm's done. So, let's make primitive tools. So this is what I mean. This feeding trough has water in it, right? But I can't take it. So like if I go to liquid options, transfer liquids, there is no trough. I can't do anything with this trough's water. It's like special water, animal only water, something. Which means I do live pretty close to the river, so I'm not too worried about potable water, because I could just, you know, fill up the water coolers that you can find. You can actually just take the bottle off the top. Uh-oh, we got some error. Which allows you to then fill up the water, the giant like 5-gallon or 10-gallon water jug or whatever it is, which is pretty effective at collecting mass amounts of water. Where's the dog? The dog's right here. Alright, character's hungry. Let's make chicken nuggets. And eat stale bread. Almost burnt it, but not quite. Alright. Back to trying to find stones and twigs. Where's dogs in game? No dogs in game. Just livestock type stuff. Hey, I took a leak. Cook to remove happiness malice. Dumb Hunter, thank you for the resub. Ooh. Dogbane. Speaking of dogs. So Dogbane's really useful in that you can twist it up into ropes. And you need a lot of rope for building. So this is what I mean by you need a lot of rope. If we wanted to make like a basic fence, rags can be used for the crude wooden fence, which like protects nothing. These things you can push over in a second. But some of these recipes will call for ropes instead. Plus you need ropes for animal husbandry to lead animals that are like too heavy to pick up. But I should do, if we want to make our own fence, because what I'm intending to do, if you're wondering, is I don't like having to go all the way out to the barn to tend the animals, so I want to turn my yard into a ranch. So collecting everything that I think we're going to need in order to ranch in our own backyard is definitely one of the goals I have for this run. Oh, a millipede. Is that what for, I'm just gonna drop it. What is this, death caps? Discard. Can you get seeds from the things you forage? Yes. Some things, like if you foraged up, let's say broccoli, we could give you broccoli seeds. Alright, my weight is holding. That's good. I have not yet found a stone or a twig. Millipede for emergency food? Yeah, I don't think so. Ginseng. Okay. There's a stone. So the stones you actually physically see on the ground are not stones you can necessarily pick up. There is like stones for aesthetic field reasons, and then stones that are forageable. Oh, you could pick, can you pick up the stones in the overworld? No, I can see. I mean, here's my pickup menu. I can pick up like low hedges and things. You right click them? Oh yeah, there we go. Large stone. Okay. Why is there like 15 different ways to do everything? Equip in both hands, or... So, for large stones, you can break them down. If you open the crafting menu here, break large stone into stones, but I would need a stone chisel for that. So, it's one of those, I'd have to knap myself a stone chisel first, which requires knapping level 2. So, let's go for smaller stones, so that I don't end up just going down the long line of, if I want. Alright, so for the axe, I now need a flint flake. And I'll go onto the gravel roads to see if I can't grab it there. Because stones are pretty rare in the forest. Oh, plantain. That's a lot of foraging experience. For now, the things I forage up, I'm just, unless they're edible, I'm just going to dump them here because of carry weight. So this is the blends. It's a gravel street. Once I get away from the house, maybe we'll pick up some flint. No, it thinks I'm in the forest now. Do foraging items respawn? That's a good question. I think the random stuff that you can, like, find... is not bound, necessarily. But the actual items probably don't respawn. If I was to venture a guess. Oh, a hurricane lantern. That's cool. And then there's, like, a pocket knife. In the, Wow, that gunny sack actually can hold more than my backpack. Just its encumbrance reduction sucked. Alright, let's go ahead now that we have the flint flake. And we need a tree branch. Time to wander around the forest, looking for tree branches. Alright, I'll put a focus on here for, firewood. See if we can't rummage up some. This is some limestone. Too soft to be used as a hammer. Headphones. Discarding them. It's a funny looking forest. It sure is. It's the forest of bales. I like how it's like, firewood coming. Doubt. I can't find any yet. Oh, nope. Mallow. Thank you for tuning in to Project Zomboid Build 42, which originally streamed live on Twitch December 31st. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you in next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, fellow survivors.